of each other, and now we had a glaringly obvious example of what a perfect fit we were. End of story. Until it happened again. The following Valentine's Day, my husband opened his card first. This time, he stared at it for a long, quiet moment before he looked up. When his gaze met mine, he was clearly shell-shocked. "You're not going to believe this." "No," I said, reaching for my card. "No way. We lived in the 7th largest city in the United States. We hadn't even bought our cards at the same store. What were the odds of this happening 2 years in a row? Yet when I opened the pink envelope, there I found a card identical to the one I'd chosen for him. Again. Something special was happening. I could feel it. I gazed down at Bouguereau's romantic painting of Cupid and Psyche on the front of the card and found it more beautiful than I ever had before. I felt as though, like Psyche, I had butterfly wings and could float straight up into the clouds. Less than 3 weeks later, my husband proposed. After I'd said yes and wiped happy tears from my eyes, he told me that he'd known we belonged together the moment he opened that second card. He thought God was trying to tell him something, so he wasted no time before slipping a glittering diamond on my finger. For years afterward, I held my breath every time I opened a card from my husband. 15 Valentine's Days, 15 Christmases, and 15 wedding anniversaries came and went, but we never again gave each other duplicate cards. I tried not to think too much about it. Obviously, it couldn't keep happening year after year. That would be impossible. And at least we were still giving each other cards. I knew plenty of married couples our age who'd ceased giving each other cards and gifts altogether. We still did these things. Granted, after 15+ years, it becomes rather difficult to surprise someone. Typically, I chose gifts for my husband that I knew he wanted, things he'd mentioned in passing or pointed out in catalogs. Until the Christmas I decided to really go out on a limb. "I'm thinking of getting my husband something kind of crazy for Christmas," I said to my friend Bess as we stood in line at the movie theater one chilly December evening. She glanced up from her popcorn. "Oh, really? What?" "Tango lessons." I bounced on my toes and waited for her reaction. I was sure she'd be awed. She wasn't. There was an awkward pause. Then finally, "Tango lessons?" "Yes. It will be romantic, don't you think?" I nodded, willing her to agree with me. "Sure." She snickered into her popcorn. She didn't sound so sure. In fact, she didn't sound sure at all, and my own certainty began to slip away. I mentioned the tango lessons to 2 more of my friends, each of whom had the same reaction. By the third uncomfortable pause, I'd really started to doubt myself. "Do you think he'll be surprised?" I said into the phone. My oldest friend, Christy, was on the other end. She'd known my husband even longer than she'd known me, so I figured this was my last chance for someone to tell me what a brilliant idea I'd had. "Oh, I think he'll definitely be surprised." "In a good way?" "My husband would be mortified, but I don't know. Yours might actually like it. Has he ever mentioned wanting to learn how to tango?" I swallowed. "Sort of. Once." He'd mentioned it once. We'd been watching Dancing with the Stars because that's what people who've been married for 15 years do on Monday nights. It was tango night, which was always one of our favorites. My husband sat on the sofa with a bowl of peanuts in his lap, while I curled up in my chair with one of our dogs. "That looks really fun," I sighed dreamily at the television, where Derek Huff and his partner were getting their scores from the judges.